Test, test, test. All right. Oh shit, you know what I didn't do? Fuck. Hello. Your dashboard, I think. Okay, stream info. No sexual themes. Okay. Yeah. Done. They reban the unban art. Yep, they rebanned nude art after one day. I guess things got too crazy. Hello, Anik. All right, let's play Mario Kart. I'm probably gonna have to I'm probably gonna have to update it. So we'll see how long this takes. I wonder if I have this set to game. Maybe people trying to find the new line, I guess. The new line. The porn line. Yeah. I guess. Apparently the issue was people were using AI art to just generate like realistic looking nude photos of people. Because of course they were. And so Twitch was like, oh, right. So blanket ban on that. They could just like ban AI art or something. I don't know. I guess it's hard. I guess it's hard to do because then you don't know if it's AI or not. And if they were like ban super realistic looking art. I mean, there are people who draw in very realistic styles, so. Hey, Jean. Thanks. I will see you later then, Jean. No, drawing null is drawing a village and going null. Doing null stuff? Going null. I like the idea of going null on the inhabitants. I'm going null. Multiplayer online, that's what I want. Friends. Now, friends could create room. So you guys can join me if you want. I kind of wanted to like experiment with different bikes, but I don't really know what to do. It seems like every time I try to use anything else, I just do so bad. I'm thinking maybe since I do run into edges a lot, going like full acceleration. I don't know. I doubt it will make that much of a difference. I think the thing with Mario Kart is that it's so chaotic that it kind of doesn't matter. Like, if you're doing time trials with, like, no other players, then it probably matters a lot more, like, what your actual build is. But when there's players all over the place just hitting you all the time and you have no idea what's going to happen, it probably doesn't matter that much. Show room ID. So people don't have to add me anymore, I guess. Is that how it works? They can just join with the ID here? So that's a lot better. Oh, it's covered by my dragon. That's unfortunate. Actually, oh yeah, he gets in the way of the placement too. Wait. Why can't I select him? Oh, there we go. Oh, we put him over here for today. Test, test, test. We'll put him... Oh, that's going to be in the way of the other ones. Fuck. Let's put him right there. Is that good? Well, we'll be popping out of the ceiling. Right. That's fine, right? Is that covering up any essential information? Why don't I do a warm-up? Actually, I'm gonna like look at my bike here. I'm gonna try like full acceleration. I'm gonna play... You can't see the character's stats, can you? It doesn't tell you. Alright, well, we want, what is this, like, ATV style? We want ATV style, because apparently, that's the best. I think oh, maybe that one. What's this? This is a different thing. See if anything has anything other when it comes to acceleration. What's this? Is it Mr. Scooty? Alright, sure, why not? Did I go through them all? Okay. Mr. Scooty. Does this matter at all? Azure, okay, I think those are the best acceleration ones anyway. Clouds. I think I have pretty much the... Wow, okay, so I pretty much had, like, the best setup for acceleration anyway. Alright. We'll just do... Oh, fuck. I guess people can't join if I'm... Do they have to be on my friends list to join, or can they just join? There wouldn't be a reason for it to have a room ID there if you couldn't just join, right? I mean, it's not like they can interact with you in any way. We'll just do one, like, race here. Do they come out with new tracks? Oh, yeah. Oh, I guess these are all the tracks for the game are out now? Interesting. Rainbow Road. I'll just go random. I don't care. I have to remember how to play this game versus the Fortnite one. Escape! Oh boy. How do you jump? I forgot how to jump already. Oh boy. Is this jump? Oh, let's use item. I haven't played this in a while. Oh, is jump the same as the drift button? Oh god, I'm just going everywhere. You draw Mario tasteful boobs now? No. They said no. They said you're not allowed. Oh, do we not have computers on? Oh, whatever. Okay. Can I kill Mr. Rossetti? Oh. Well, I'm fucked now. Alright. Let me get back into the swing of it. Why wait for me? To give you false hope. Great. Thanks. Well, I wouldn't be... Well, why does... Alright, whatever. I forgot to put on computer. Mario's tasteful boobs. No, it just sucks that it's always gonna be like... There's always gonna be the kid putting gum on the underside of the desk. That makes it so that no one is allowed to chew gum. I don't really believe in that, though. I don't really believe in rules to punish everyone because one person is stupid. I think you should just punish the person that's stupid. Why are you up there now? Because it's in the way of the things. Uh-oh. Well. God. Skitter dragon scratching up the ceilings. Yeah. Skitter dragon. Oh. Skitter dragons. Oh, I didn't realize. Whoops, almost fucked myself with my own bomb. Oh. Well, now I'm super fucked. This always happens. Maybe this isn't the right kind of vehicle for me. I always seem to, like, not be able to take turns as well as I would like to. It's been an ongoing problem I've always had with this game. I just can't take turns. Like, it's basically random if I manage to turn fast enough. That's how it feels anyway. Because I know the maps, like, well enough, you know? But it's like, there's like a delay or something before you actually, like, start turning sharply. Like, you turn really shallow for the first part of the drift, and then you start turning sharply after a few seconds or something like that. I'm not really sure how it works, but that's what it feels like. What? If they stop drawing tits, Twitch changed the rules back to you're not allowed to draw tits. All right. You created room for friends. Would you like to create? Thanks, Nintendo. Yeah. Why don't I try something else? Why don't I try... Actually, why don't I try... Same cart, but, like a heavier character. Like, same thing I'm used to, but with a heavier character, and see if I like that more. We'll change it one factor at a time. Where is... Isn't Bowser in this game? There's Boner Bowser. Alright, let me just go back to the one I'm used to. Yeah, we'll change like one factor at a time. Also room ID. Okay, so people can join if they want to. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Hey, guy number 5. Mario Kart plays good with the NES controllers. Yeah. I don't know about that. The top buttons on those NES controllers are really terrible. They're like little, you have to like dig your fingernail in there to hit it. Power glove. Yeah. Right. There's Skitterderg, fresh caramel double chocolate brownie square. Ooh. Teams, no teams, normal. Let's put on a hard computer. Okay. Let's go again. Oh, so I learned what the big news was. They were talking about, you know, oh, something amazing's happening on the 14th. Tarkov was. Everybody thought, oh, Arena's coming out, because I said Arena would come out at the beginning of December. You know, it's not the beginning of December anymore. It's now the middle of December, so... So we thought Arena was coming out on the 14th. Well, it didn't come out, but what did happen is there's a arena tournament for like professional gamers. I guess they got a bunch of people from like CS:GO, like professional teams. Wow, turning is really weird on this. Oh, fuck me. Oh. So they started a arena tournament that no one cares about. Well, I can't say no one cares about it. I'm sure some people are excited, but when it's like, oh, we finally get to play the game that we've been wanting to play for like 2 years. Like, nope, you get to watch somebody else play it. Kind of a disappointment. Understandable. Oh, so tapping B matters a lot, or is a lot more effective when you're bigger. Oh, I like that. Oh, it didn't hit him? Weird. Oh, man. You turn... The turning's a little weird, though. It's always... The turning's always weird in this game. I feel like I can never get used to it. Oh, fuck me.
Your mail was probably just confiscated by the NSA because they thought it was a bomb from the KGB, because there is no way a god gamer like you weren't invited.
No, they didn't invite any of the, like, Tarkov streamers. They invited, like, CSGO people. And Valorant people. They did make one of the Tarkov streamers a, like, announcer or whatever, shoutcast. I don't remember, I don't know what it's called. Person who yells. Like, oh, he just shot him, there's another one who got shot. for the tournament, though. Then says a bunch of weird things that don't make any sense. Yeah, apparently the balancing in the game is really bad. Everyone uses... There's only 2 guns that anyone uses. They use the, it's like MPX or something, which I'm pretty sure is like a meta gun in the actual, like, base game, too. Oh, I could have dodged it. I'm stupid, though. Oh, I didn't realize that. I forgot that you can dodge them with a mushroom. Revolver shotgun thing with bird shot. No, it was it's like MPX or something. It's like a 9mm, like, very fast firing weapon, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is also meta in the base game, but that's the only gun anyone uses. And that and the AK, and the only reason they used one of the AKs, because one of the AK kits has a grenade. So one person on the team has a grenade, and the other 4 people have MPXs or whatever. Oh. So it's kind of funny. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they'll fix the balancing, but who knows? Balancing is so weird in games. It'll be like, every single game has the same, like... I don't know what you would call it, like, cycle of balancing where things might be fine, but the general, like, consensus determines what people uses, not how good something actually is, right? Like, I don't know. It'll be like... I don't know, like Diablo 4 is the most recent example I can think of. Although it happens in like World of Warcraft all the time. It'll be like barbarian. No, it was druids. It was like, oh, druids are really powerful. They're like, they do like 20% more DPS than any other class with this one build. So then Blizzard was like, okay, well we'll nerf that one build of druids by like 20%. They'll do 20% less damage. They're in line, right? And then because they got nerfed, everyone is like, oh, druids are totally unplayable now. Totally garbage, unplayable. But it's like, they're not actually unplayable. They're fine. They're just normal now. And then so nobody will play the druid even though it's fine. And then it'll be like, oh, worst class druid even though they're fine. It just that's how it always goes. Like, gamers are so weird. So I don't know. There's something to be said about like not trusting the players to like balance your game, because a lot of their balancing issues are going to be arbitrary. It's going to go by perception. Fighting games are like that too a lot. It'll be like, oh, this character's bottom tier, and then nobody uses that character, and then one person wins a tournament with that character that's supposedly bottom tier, and then everybody uses that character suddenly because it won a tournament, and it's like, oh, it's top tier now. It's like, but nothing changed. It's just your like idea of it. I don't know. Magic Card's been around for at least 5 years. They still haven't figured out the balancing. Yeah, at least 5 years. What there's 1,000 tanks, maybe 50 are actually used more than once. Yeah. Well, Magic cards... Okay, so the thing with Magic is, I think they make broken cards on purpose, just to, like, make it exciting. Because it's like... if they just released perfectly balanced, like, set every single time... like, there are some cards that are, like, clearly from the get-go, like, okay, this card's gonna be broken as shit, and everybody knows it, right? If every single person, like, playing knows it, then, like, obviously the developers knew it, right? Sometimes it's less obvious, like, it'll be some interaction between two cards that's broken, but, and then it's like, okay, well, understandable, you know? They didn't think of everything. Well, Termagoyf corner. The ban cards, yeah. Oh, my guy's in the corner, yeah. I don't remember what Termagoyf does. But yeah, I feel like they make...
Corner oath. Look at him hanging out up there. Corner cough. Corner cough. I guess you could say he's tilted.
Yeah. Oh, whoops. Ah, shit. Well. Dang it. This is why I don't trust myself driving. The arrows are like, go this way, and then I just crash into a wall. Because I didn't expect them to go that way. Oh. Oh, they got a boost when I hit them? Weird. It was in Time Spiral. They're selling for $5 first day, then 500 a week later. The 2-drop every different type in graveyard gets +1/+1. Every different type in graveyard it gets +1/+1. Type is in like creature type. I don't know, because so basically the other thing with Magic, type of card. So like sorcery, instant, land, that. Sometimes, so self-mill gods became godlike. Yeah. Yeah, it depends. It depends on the format too, because they make cards for standard. Like most cards in the set are for standard, right? And then we'll have a few like cards for EDH. Our commander or whatever you call it. But the thing is, if you try to use a card outside its format, then it's like the balancing's gonna be off. So like on I don't know, like modern, I guess modern games. I don't know what it's like in modern games. Is it like 3-turn wins? Anyway, in any format where it's like 3-turn wins, then like a 2-drop matters a lot more. I don't know. But if it's like a normal, like standard, if it's balanced for standard, then it kind of doesn't matter. But they have been making an effort to make like 1 and 2 drops more powerful recently, I noticed. In Wilds of Eldraine, I think is the set. They have this 1-drop who's like, you can play him. I can't remember what he's called, but you can play him as an instant. I think it's just for 1. An instant for 1, and I think he does 2 damage. And then he goes on a quest, which means he exiles until you pay another 1, and then he comes out as like a 3/1. So it's like, wow, that's really good. For a 1-drop, that's like super versatile, or like you get a lot of use out of it, especially in like burn decks. You can never play the one that you could use all the cards. What if everyone just tried to use AI to build a perfect deck? I'm pretty sure I've seen some weird decks. A lot of the like top decks are really strange. So I'm pretty sure they're already like using their computer brains. Are you joining? Who is that? Was that Mystic? Oh yeah. Here's the room code. Oh, there we go. Pet. Oh yeah, the things are gonna be off since he's moved, but it's always weird when they have 1 card in a deck. Yeah. Well, that's what it'll be. It'll be a deck, and like half the cards in the deck, there's only 1 copy, and you're just like, why? Well, because usually it's like some combo deck, right? So they only need 1 because they plan to win in 1 turn. And they just need 1 in their deck to like fetch it with something else to like do some kind of combo. That's my take on it anyway. I don't know if that's completely accurate, but that's the only thing I can think of that makes sense. Because like there's so many things that are like, you have 1 in your deck and then your opponent does something that makes you mill 3 cards, and it's like, well, I can't. I lose access to like 3 essential cards that I needed. Just so if, or maybe they're like, I don't know. Yeah, only ever had one decent deck. Oh, Corbin. I don't know. I like deck building more than I like playing the game. I actually do really like what's it called? EDH or Commander or whatever, too. I like it. Well, okay. So I like the idea of it, I should say. I like having one card. It's good for a few reasons. Having one copy of each card means that, like, you have a more interesting like deck composition, right? Like, no two games are going to go the same way. In theory, that's the idea. But it doesn't matter because there are like 10 million cards in Magic. So you can have 100 cards that are just the same card with different names. And that's what people do. So it's just like, it doesn't matter. It's the same shit anyway. Like, I built my deck and it was like, my dragon deck, and it was like, okay, well, what do I need? You know, in a normal deck, I would have like, in a normal game that takes like 7 or 8 turns, you draw the top 15 cards of your deck, right? You're opening 7, and then another 7 or 8. So safe to say that you're gonna draw the top 15 cards of your deck in any game, like in a normal game. So in a 60 card deck, that means it's fine to have 4 copies of everything, because you're like statistically likely to get one of each thing. So what you do a lot of the times is you're like, okay, well, I want to make sure I have a counter spell. So so you might put in like your 4 like good counter spells and then maybe like 2 kind of crappy counter spells, just to like increase the odds that you draw at least 1 counter spell. Or if you really want counter spells, maybe you'll just put like 3 different types and you'll have like 12 counter spells. And then you're like you're pretty much guaranteed to get at least 2 throughout the game. I don't think you're allowed to make a dragon deck that's good. In Commander, it works because there's the Dragon has a commander ability that makes it so that all your dragons cost 1 less, even when he's not summoned. So if he's just in the commander zone, all your dragons cost 1 less, which is pretty good, considering there are lots of dragons that are only like 3 or 4 costs to begin with. So you can start summoning things, like big things that have flying pretty quick. Especially if you get like a turn 2 or turn 3 drop. There are a lot of other cards that are like either reduce the cost of dragons by 1, reduce the cost of red spells, which most dragons are red, by 1, or like reduce the cost of creatures with flying by 1, right? So that's basically what my deck is. It's like, in that 100 card deck, I have like 8 or like 12 things that are just reduce the cost of dragons by 1, essentially. So I by like turn 3, I can summon a like 5 cost dragon. Usually, I don't know. It works out. It's okay. People always have like some stupid combo. It just depends on what deck they play. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I like the idea of Commander, but it kind of doesn't work because if you you can only have 1 copy of each card. It's like, okay, well, there are like 25 cards that are just 2 or 3 mana counter spell with like some slight variation of how they counter the spell. So I could just have 25 counter spells in the deck if I wanted to, you know. And it's like that with almost every card. Like my other, like, I have a counter deck that gives +1/+1 counters on everything. And, oh, I got first. Neat. That puts 1/1 counters on everything. And it's like every single card in that deck is just like, do something, put a 1/1 counter on all your creatures. Right? And it's like they might as well be the same card. Just like 60 times. Because there's like 30 lands in the deck, so like 60 cards that just say put a 1/1 counter on all your creatures, basically. God, so thick he went up to the ceiling to not block UI. Yeah. How am I stuck to the ceiling, though? That's the mystery. What glue is strong enough to hold me there? Do you have a... fuck or not, do you have a, commander deck? You can actually, if you don't, you can actually buy a commander starter deck. For like $30. It's a 100-card deck that has like a theme to it. It'll be like... It's a good place to start anyway. Because you'll... Oh, this is... Well, what do you want me to do, game? Go on this very specific path. Do a big turn. Oh, my one thing that I'm very bad at is taking weird turns. Oh, this map is all turns. Why do they fuck me like this? Why dragons fly, indeed. They should make, Oh, wait. I find it weird that... So, it's like, you know... It's Mario Kart, but it has some other, like, non-Mario characters in it, like Link and... like, Donkey Kong, I guess. Even though he is kind of a Mario character. I don't know why they don't just go full, like, Nintendo Kart. Maybe they'll do that next time. They should just go Nintendo Kart and have all the Smash Brothers characters in it. That would be fun, wouldn't it? I think it would be neat if they mixed up the formula a little bit. They could have, like, Mario Kart as, like, kind of the basis for it and how it, like, controls and everything. But they could have, like, I really liked the one aspect of Speedstorm that I think was pretty good was that each character had their own, like, moveset. And a lot of the moves were, like, pretty similar. Like, right, it would be, like, throw a thing or something. But it's cool that each character had their own moveset. So it felt, like, more unique. Like, it felt like it mattered. You know. It's kind of sad. I don't think Speedstorm is, like, necessarily a bad game. I think it's, like, kind of a like microtransaction fest, or like ranked anyway. But I don't think it's a bad game. Somehow it's really boring. It's okay. Yeah, it's boring for weird reasons. I don't really know why. Like, they put a lot of effort into the stages. The main thing about racing games that I find boring is that they don't put any effort into the stages. Like, that's the main problem I have with the Fortnite kart racer game, is the stages are really, really boring. But Speedstorm, all of the stages are really cool. Like, you know, the Beauty and the Beast one, you're, like, driving through the middle of the castle, like, going through these different corridors, and there's, like, dancing shit on the sides, and they're, like, throwing shit across, like, you know... I don't know, it's neat. right? There's like floating tables and stuff spinning around everywhere. It's cool. And like on the Monsters Inc. level, you're like going through different doors that are like taking you to different parts of the world. I don't know. It's neat. And then there's the one stage where you drive. You like start at the theater and then you drive into the screen and then you're like in the movie. Like all that stuff is really cool. But the game is just like, I don't know. It's like something's missing. Like it feels like kind of hollow somehow. Oh, and I think it might just be because there's no like Grand Prix, right? Like one thing that Mario Kart has that is you play 4 races and then you determine a winner based on that. So you get some like amount of for me anyway, it makes me have some amount of like I care about winning. Like even if I don't place first in a race, right? I'm like, okay, I got second. Like I can still win the overall like Grand Prix. Or is that what it's called? Grand Prix? Invested, yeah. Invested, that's the word I'm looking for. Whoa. What's missing from Speedstorm is Nick Wilde's fat, penniless balls swinging behind him as he races. Yeah, if they put Nick Wilde in Speedstorm, more people would play it. I don't know why they don't put Zootopia characters in more things. It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, they know furries go crazy for this shit. Furries would play... They would immediately have an influx of players if they put a bunch of Zootopia characters in Speedstorm. Ah, fuck. Maybe the profits go lower. Yeah, I don't know what the issue... I think they realized... I think they were like, oh yeah, we're gonna appeal to furries, right? And they must know that there's like some porn, right? I think maybe they didn't know that there would be so much porn. I think maybe some CEO or something, some like board member got scared because they were like, oh, there's like... Our brand is now being associated with like tons and tons of porn, right? Because I know that the Pokemon company was upset about that for a while. They sued some Pokemon porn hosting site. I can't remember the name of it, but they sued some Pokemon porn hosting site, and they had to change the search tag to Porkymon. That was the result of that lawsuit. Was that they couldn't use the Pokemon as a search tag on their website. It's really funny. So you go there, you type in Porkymon to get... I can't remember what site that is. Pretty sure at least 99% of players would be furries if they put Zootopia characters in. Yeah. Hello, Rizaya. I'll wait for you to join. Oh, room ID. There it is. I'll probably do a porn test, all new characters. Can it porn? I expect this soon, considering how much they made off Wish. I didn't even see anything about Wish. Was it even a good movie? What was the reason? They got sued by Pokemon. By the Pokemon company. For like hosting Pokemon porn. I can't remember which site it was. Wish is bombing. Apparently, they used AI to help write. Oh, that's right. I did hear that. That's right. They used AI to write the songs in the movie. And in one of the villain songs, it was really apparent because it was like kind of weird and nonsensical. I do remember that. They just got rid of Bob Iger. Hasn't he been like the main Disney guy for like a long time? Wish only on 30 million and its budget was 200 million. 250 with marketing? Jeez. Oh, that's terrible. Was Wish like a was that like a Chinese pandering movie? Is this like reversed right now? Is this... Yeah. Does this track normally like this? I feel like it's reversed. I wonder if there's like a... Oh, fuck me. Oh, did he block it somehow? The fuck? Oh, shit. I turned the wrong way. I drifted the wrong way. Oh, just before I used it. Oh well. Now I'm in 5th place, I'll get good items. Oh. Oh. Yeah, I can't take... Oh, fuck. I absolutely can't take these, like, rapid succession tight turns. I'm not sure how people do it. I don't know if they use, like, a different type of vehicle, or if they hit the brakes, or how they do it. I just cannot do it, though. I expected Judy Hopps self-relief centers dotted all across the U.S. so Disney can make their money back. It was a white people are evil because they like rules movie. Oh, okay. Yeah. Turns out when you're like calling your main demographic shitheads, they don't like that so much. I don't know. Companies will figure it out eventually. Eventually, Hollywood will figure it out, and they'll fire all the people with purple hair, and then we'll have good movies again. Bud Light being, we hate frat parties. Okay, Bud Light, I guess you don't get to sell your beer anymore. Yeah. I hate frat parties. Did I just eat the banana? What? What happened? It looked like he ate it. Oh.
Yummy gamer crumbies.
Crumbies. Oh, this sounds fucked up for some reason. Oh well. Oh. It'll be easier to invent the holodeck from Star Trek and make your own movies. I think with AI stuff, it'll be we're like rapidly approaching a point where anyone can be as like creative as they want and not be held back by like production costs. At least with like animated stuff. I mean, I know there was like at least one like AI, it wasn't AI generated. It was written by a person, but the all the like it was an animated movie and all the art was AI generated, and people were talking about it for a minute. I don't remember what movie it was though. I didn't see it. You got an ad for Twitch on Twitch. Hello, Union Jackal. Oh yeah, let me give my streamly once a stream speech here. Okay, well, I don't think gripping pushing fur is the correct thing to say. Okay, shorts. Yeah, all right. So I make shorts on YouTube, and I make them out of stream clips. So it is very helpful to me if you guys clip anything that you find funny or interesting or engaging in any way. And I would appreciate that a lot. And one day it may end up as a clip on YouTube, or a short on YouTube rather. The other thing is, let me find it again. Oh yeah, if you're watching from YouTube, I'm streaming on both Twitch and YouTube. And so if you're on YouTube, if you come to Twitch, you can do like channel point redeems, and you might get gifted a sub. That'll get you into the Discord. So if you're interested in that, then try watching on Twitch. The support is generally better there too. And at some point, I will probably move back to just streaming on Twitch, because unfortunately, when I use the program I need to use to stream to Twitch and YouTube at once, it only lets me stream at 720. But I can stream at 1080 on if I'm just doing Twitch. So I'll probably move back to just that at some point. That is my daily spiel. Oh, almost got him. I think I do boost faster as Bowser than I do as Link, though. So I wonder if that's a thing with heavier characters, that you get the drift boost faster. I don't know, there's... Oh, whoa. There's stats that they just don't tell you about. Oh my god. I wonder if there's like which track to take is optimal or if it matters. I've noticed a lot with like shortcuts and alternate paths and things. It doesn't actually matter that much. I think they're just kind of there like for fun. I don't know if you actually save time taking like the alternate paths or the shortcuts. Maybe in like certain situations. Like you definitely, I mean, there are definitely shortcuts that you save time on because you have a mushroom and you like cut through something. So I'm not saying those ones. I'm saying like, I don't know, like this. There's two routes. There's like you know, the two roads here. I'm not sure if it matters which one you take. Judy Hopps, Miami Heat. I see. I also shaved my beard, so I can't play with it anymore. It's unfortunate. They do matter for the most part, but if you're far back, you might want to go wide to get double item boxes. They do matter. Alternate paths, yeah. I just haven't seen them, like, okay, so what I mean is, like, I'll be playing, right? There'll be someone right in front of me. He takes one path, I take another path, and he, like, disappears behind some secret wall or something, right? And then he's gonna pop out later in the race exactly the same amount ahead of me as he was before. So it just feels like it doesn't really matter. Like, if it mattered, he would be, like, way ahead of me. Right? Or at least like a second ahead of me. Not exactly in the same place he was before. Oh. Uh-oh. Oh. What? Why does my turning feel so weird? Oh, because I'm small right now. Right, okay. I guess you, like, your turning sucks when you're small? I don't know. Oh, God. Oh, God. Yep. I saw that coming from a mile away. Oh, I should have, like, mini boosted over that. Oh, hello, Casper. Regarding Zootopia, though, it's rather odd that they haven't done much with it since the original movie, considering how popular it was. Instead, we get Wish and more bad Star Wars. Well, that's what I'm saying. I think the reason why they don't do anything with Zootopia is just because they realize that it's like they think it might be bad for their brand, because Disney wants to be like a kid-friendly brand, right? So when you make a movie and it just spawns like more porn than you could possibly imagine, when you make an IP, I should say, they might not want to, like, they don't want to touch that, you know. But I think they understand that that's just kind of how things are, right? Like, it's a good thing, basically. If you make an IP and it spawns a bunch of porn, that means that you have good character design, is kind of all that means. Okay. We're gonna play again. It's only 3? Jesus. Hello, Fox Number. Thanks for following. Especially as more and more kids get into the fandom. What do you mean? I don't think Disney cares about the furry fandom. I don't think they care about how many kids are in the furry fandom. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Disney probably doesn't want its brand associated with porn. But I don't know. I feel like Disney has a like weirdly like puritanical view on things anyway. And I think they just put in like wasn't there a movie about a gay fish? I think there was a movie about a fish with like a fish man with like moderately gay undertones, or maybe he was gay, I don't know, but that was like a big deal because like Disney has a gay character, oh my god. But it's like, how many like years behind like social trends are you? You know what I mean? So I don't know what goes on over at Disney. It's definitely run by like a bunch of olds, so you know, whatever was risque in 1920, that's like what their sensibilities are based on. Oh. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh.
So catching up with my weekly internet craziness with the Mad at the Internet podcast, and now you can draw porn on Twitch, but according to your Discord status, they've already went back on this.
Yep. It only took one day. That one day you can draw porn on Twitch. Yesterday I was drawing wolf titties. And then today I wake up and I see a message about how due to like the overwhelming amount of like weird shit, no more porn. No more drawn porn. It's really funny. Apparently what was happening is that a bunch of people were using AI, like, you know, saying AI art and making just like hyper realistic like porn, basically, and Twitch didn't like that because it was still, you're not allowed to show like real porn. It was just like drawn porn is okay, which is understandable, right? But now with like hyper realistic AI art, it's very like hard to distinguish between like real and art, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, that's a hard, I mean, I kind of get it. That's like a, it's like a difficult thing, because if they said, okay, then no realistic drawn porn, or no realistic artistic porn either.
They needed a reason to allow back in Twitch thoughts doing the topless meta and added in any nudity for artistic purposes. Thirsty bastards.
Something like that. Yeah, they were trying to, but nudity for artistic purposes. Yeah, artistic. Well, that's the thing, though, is, like, it's weird anyway, because if it's... Okay, there's a difference between, like... I mean, the line's fuzzy, but there's a difference between, like, nudity and porn, right? Because, like, if I'm an artist, I look at nude models all the time to draw anatomy specifically, and gesture. Right? So is that, I mean, but like under the Twitch rules, that's not allowed. But it's like, well, if I'm going to be drawing, then I'm probably going to be looking at a reference like that. So, like, you know, what's the deal? But then at the same time, there are like porn sites where they've got like the poses they do in porn sites and the poses they do in like artistic like figure drawing like aren't that different for the most part. So yeah, I don't know. That doesn't matter. I don't know. I just don't know why it matters to everyone. Like, that's kind of where I'm at with, like, the whole porn thing, is just, like, why does everyone care so much? Like, really, who cares? If it was normal, it just wouldn't matter. If, like, nudity was normal, then it just wouldn't matter. Right? In some cultures, it is normal, and it's just, like, their society isn't falling apart, you know? Well, I mean, it is for other reasons. Well, we won't go into that. Christians, yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, all these companies are run by, like, 80-year-olds, you know, who like, have 1940s sensibilities, so... So, yeah, it's all, like... I don't know. They banned some actual porn star who cut off the camera right above her tits. Let her back in after a week. Read somewhere that half the Twitch users are minors, so a lot of minors are watching. I mean, yeah, but you have to mark your stream as, like, porn. You had to mark your stream as, like, containing sexual content specifically, and it would, like, black out your preview box. So you had to click on it and be like, yes, I'm 18 or older, right? That's like kind of all they can do. It's just, I don't know. It's like companies keep trying to baby-proof the internet, and it just kind of sucks. It's like, I don't know. Most people are adults. Just like, I just want to draw and not have to worry about it. I don't even really want to, like, draw, like, completely explicit things to begin with. I just want to draw. When I draw nude figures, and I'm looking at references of nude figures, and I just want to do that without being harassed. Like, and I can't because everyone's like, oh no, if someone sees a titty, their head will explode. It's just like, who cares? Yeah. It's I don't know. I mean, I don't know how to solve that problem. I actually just don't think it's really much of a problem. I think people make it out to be more of a problem than it is. Because, like, I don't know anyone over the age of, like, 14 who wasn't looking at porn from, like, the moment they started puberty, basically. So, I think it's just normal. Well, for males anyway. I don't know. I don't have a lot of like female friends, so I have no idea. But I just think it's dumb to try to baby-proof the internet. Just doesn't matter. Obviously, you get one of your older friends to buy you porn magazines. Yeah. Well, yeah, there was at least then, there was like a way to actually kind of control it. Like you had to buy porno mags, right? But like it's the internet, right? Like if parents are letting their kids have like uncontrolled like using the internet, then they're looking at porn. It's like not useful to pretend like they're not and try to like baby-proof everything like that matters. I don't know. Like it's gonna have an effect, I mean. It's just very annoying to me.
Remember that thou art a wretched sinner, utterly unworthy of God's love. A fountain of pollution is deep within thy nature, and thou livest as a winter tree, unprofitable, fit only to be hewn down and burned. Keep thy life in prayer, and hope that God sees fit to show mercy on thy corrupted soul.
Yeah, remember. Yeah, it's like weird Christian values, but like I said, there are societies that just like don't care. And so, also, you know what I think is really weird? I think it's really weird that like swimsuits are just underwear. Like that's the same amount of skin is underwear being revealed. But then it's like, oh no, underwear. Oh wow, how awful. But they're in a swimsuit like at the beach or like at some event. Oh, that's fine then. It's just like, what? It's so fucking arbitrary. I mean, as long as there's like water in the background, like it's okay to be in your underwear, right? If you can hear ocean sounds or see water in the background, then like it, you know, it's fine. But if there's not, that's evil and sinful that you're showing that much skin. Society is just retardedly arbitrary. Arbitrarily deciding what's accepted and what's not. In the end, a lot of shit doesn't even matter. Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. I don't think it matters. I mean, I haven't done like studies on that much studies on like other cultures, especially like ancient cultures. But they seemed like, I don't know. They seem to be like okay with nudity and like fairly successful as a civilization, so I don't think it matters too much. I don't think society is going to collapse if nudity becomes normal. That's all I'm saying. It's like in some cultures, they think that society is going to collapse if women even like show their face. So they have to have their faces covered, you know? So it's like, okay. You go that extreme with it too, but obviously it doesn't matter. Or the weirdest one, I think they were Baptist. They were something. They always had, women had to cover their heads while they prayed. They were some Christian denomination, but women had to cover their heads while they prayed because it was like they don't want God to see the top of their heads or something, or like I don't know. They had to have their heads covered. I think there's some Bible verse that talks specifically about women having coverings, which is why Muslims do it and why some denominations of Christians have women like cover their heads when they pray. But yeah, it's just like, it's just so arbitrary. Like, oh no, what? Can't have God see your face if you're a woman. I don't know. Oh. It's like an all Christian thing, but not. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I'm pretty sure. Well, I mean, now we're getting into like religion, but like the thing with Christianity is that everybody just has like a specific set of rules that they've decided they're gonna follow, and like other shit that they just ignore. So it's like that's one of the reasons why I stopped being a Christian. It's because it's arbitrary. Pac-Man ghost costume. Pac-Man ghost costume in the Middle East is one of the countermeasures for low impulse control. That's Protestants. Right, yeah. I guess so. I guess if no one else is joining, we'll just do another one. Protestants are autistic. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's worse. Like, arbitrarily deciding what your religious tenets are, or following being like Catholic and following like the most corrupt organization known to man. All right. If you like something in the original religion, you make your own Protestant one without that one thing. Yeah. That title has a lot of contenders. Yeah, I don't know. I think the Catholic Church is at least one of the worst. But whatever. I don't really care. The only thing I care about is art. That's kind of what I've decided. Oh. All the candles. Well, Scientology hasn't been around as long. That's what I'm saying. Like, that Catholic Church has been around forever, and they've just been evil forever. Scientology's only been around for, well, like 100 years. Catholic Church is not that bad, says Casper. Okay. I guess we can tell where the biases are. Oh, see. I don't even... Okay. Maybe bringing up the Catholic Church was the wrong thing to do. And people, like... if there are Catholics in the audience that believe that the Catholic Church is just great, that's like a whole new level of delusional that I don't even want to deal with. Oh, is it better to just cut the corner there? Well, anyway, any rate, let's talk about something else. Apparently, apparently some new game just came out. I don't know. Oh, fuck.
There is a story about Muhammad having a talking magic donkey, descended from the donkey Jesus had. Muhammad's donkey disliked women because their souls are in general more sinful, and was oddly named Yafu, which means deer. He threw himself down a well in despair when Muhammad died. Even though this story began as a weird little tale for children, hundreds of millions of adult Muslims believe it.
Yeah, well, that's probably most Bible stories. Some of them might, like religious stories, I should say. But probably most stories from religious texts are like a weird children's story, or like just some shit someone made up for some reason. Some of them might be based on a real event, but there's no way that it's like has maintained its like coherency over the millennia. Anyway, this game just came out. It looks like the day before. It's very weird. It's like, it's called Once Human. It came out like a couple days after the day before. And they're like, hey, we're the day before except a real game. So I'm very confused about that. It's zombie survival MMO. Look at that. I got 10, 9, whatever. However many numbers this... Did I just destroy my own shell with my own shell? I see. Once human, so furries. Well, I think it refers to zombies. Though that would be a good game too. You play as the furry faction or the human faction. And the furries are the corrupt humans. That game would be like 100% furries though. Well, I don't know. There would be plenty of people that are like, whoa, a game where I get to kill furries? Wowee. That would actually, that might not be a bad idea for a game. Like a human faction and a furry faction. Furries would like it because they get to be furries, and humans, normal people would like it because they get to kill furries. That works out. That's fun for everyone. Although I'm pretty sure the furry faction would be like, everyone would just be RPing all the time, and the like human faction would be people who actually do PvP. Arcage? Is that how Arcage was? Did I have furry species? Oh, I had the one, like, cat people with the weird feet. No, wait, Arcage didn't have factions. Arcage didn't have, like, a World of Warcraft thing going on. Arcage just had, like, people and outlaws. Guild Wars. I never played the original Guild Wars. But in Guild Wars 2 it was the same thing. There was only one faction. It had factions, one of them were the cat people. Arcage didn't have factions. It only had, like,
One of my favorite Bible stories is something from the Old Testament.
it didn't have
Some Jews are
warring
selling their
factions, is what
home,
I'm
but
trying to
they
say.
lie about how much they got for it so they don't have to give as much to the temple. God, however, knows what they have done, so he murders the baby. What a nice guy.
Yeah. I'm talking about, like, oh my goodness. I hit the largest, most avoidable thing. I'm talking about, like, Alliance versus Horde. It didn't have, like, an Alliance versus Horde system in Arcade. That's what I'm talking about when I say factions. It had different races, which is, I think, what you're saying. Yeah, and they had, like, a cat person race. But I mean factions, as in a furry faction. Like, imagine if in World of Warcraft the Horde had gotten Worgen, and it was like Tauren and Worgen were the only thing that people played. Tauren, Worgen, Pandera, and Valpera. Yeah, imagine if those were the only races you could play as Horde. Horde would be the furry race. No, but I do think, like, human... If it was, like, okay, so one faction could be, like, humans, dwarves, and elves. Right? Not World of Warcraft. Just an MMO, or, like, PvP game in general. One faction would be, like, humans, dwarves, and elves. Right? All, like, the normie races. And then, the furry faction would be, like, werewolves. Bigger, gayer werewolves. And a third, bigger, even gayer breed of werewolf. Right? Oh, I don't know. What are some actual furry factions? I'm like a Leonin thing. I think, like, you definitely have to have, like, wolf people, right? And you definitely, I think it's pretty standard to have, like, cat people, too. Like, lion guys, right? And then you need a third one. Well, you need like a small race. So like Finnick people, like Volpera, right? But that means that the other side gets gnomes. Werewolf, centaurs, and minotaurs? No, centaurs are terrible. Oh yeah, a lizard would be good. Lizard, kobolds. Kobolds! That's your small race. Kobolds. So the human faction gets gnomes, and the furry faction gets kobolds. Pretty sure Arcade had one faction on each continent for low. Oh, you might be right. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, there were factions, now that I remember it. Humans and elves, and then cats and Asians. Oh yeah, you're right. Sorry, I forgot all about that for some reason.
You could have a faction called the Warwick Davis Consortium. They are made up of the short races from both sides and exclusively fight against taller folks.
The tall folk? Yeah. No, you're right. Arcades do have factions. I mean, so it was furries and weebs versus normies? I mean, that makes sense. I always thought, like, weebs don't want to admit it, but they're just furries. Like, they're just furries, like, in a different skin. Right? Like, they enjoy the same things. Animated porn, mainly. Smelling bad, being autistic, going to conventions, cosplaying. They're the same thing. Like, furries and weebs are the same thing. They don't like to admit it. Well, I think furries are fine with being weebs, but weebs, like, don't want to be seen as furries for some reason. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, the only difference between furries and we... Because there'll be characters that are, like, in an anime that's like, oh, it's this cat character that both furries and weebs like. The only difference is, like, the flatness of the face of the characters that they like. Actually, that's not even true, because most anime characters have, like, muzzles, basically. It's... Does it have fur on its face? Is the only difference. Because, like, weebs love the, like, dog girl and cat girl stuff, right? Does it have fur on its face is the only difference between furries and weebs. Beastars had human feet. Well, Beastars is terrible. Weebs have been more generally accepted by normies than furries, so it leads to self-denial. Yeah, that might be something. They draw pug dog girls? Ew. Does shaving count as denying being a furry? Hello, Roy Cadman. I'm a weeb, but also likes furry. Yeah. There's a big overlap, I think. Juno Wolf Foot Job. Great. Thanks, Mystic. Check out the game that I wanted. Oh, yeah. People can join. Well, I don't know if I want it. I just want to look at a trailer for it. Where's my...
Remember that thou art a wretched sinner, utterly unworthy of God's love. A fountain of pollution is deep within thy nature, and thou livest as a winter tree, unprofitable, fit only to be hewn down and burned. Steep thy life in prayer, and hope that God sees fit to show mercy on thy corrupted soul.
Thank you, Casper, again for reminding me. I'll cleanse my soul after the stream. Don't worry about it. What the fuck is it called? Once Human? Is that Once Human? A new weird... Wait, did the advertisement for the game sign up for beta? Is it on Steam? Oh, it's on Steam? Alright, let's look it on Steam. Don't play arcades anymore. Oh, I don't either. Once Human. So yeah, this game like just went into beta like a few days after the day before, which is interesting. Can you cancel Red Cothrix? Yeah, that's Nega Cothrix. Or was that Gothrix? No, it's Nega Cothrix. Yeah, Nega Koth. You can cancel him, it's okay. So yeah, a game that looks just like the day before trailers. The grid pack. Oh, there is a grid. Oh, that's just a weird bug. Anyway, so this might be a real game, or who knows? Maybe it's literally just the day before again. They said, someone said they were playing in the beta and they said it was, it's more like The Division, but with zombies. So, that might be fun. This is the day after. It was made in some random country you've never heard of. Well, that goes without saying. It's a zombie survival game, so it kind of goes without saying that it's made in Malaysia or someplace and will be abandoned 6 months after it comes out. But who knows? I'm always willing to try is the thing. Because you never know. I mean, this does look kind of neat, though, because it has, like... It's not just zombies. There's, like, all kinds of, like, weird creatures, you know? Like I said, people said it's more like The Division, where you like, you know, you level up and you have different stats, and guns have stats and things, so like a real MMO basically. Like, this looks neat. Fighting giant monsters and stuff.
It's all over. Let's get out of here. Knock, knock.
So I guess PvP as well. Alright. Yeah, I don't know. It looks okay. Looks neat. Actually, I need to take it off of this because now it's going to start playing trailers for other things. Alright, here we go. And just have the loudest sound known to man start screeching in my ears. I'm trying to do something else. Yeah, they said Remnant 2. What about Remnant 2? It's more like The Division. It's multiplayer. I could expect Jask to join them. I looked over for goofy carts and saw arm biting. Yeah. I think Jasker will be mad at me if I try to invite him to play another game, because the last couple of games we've tried to play. Now, this is not entirely my fault, but I guess it's partially my fault. I've said we're gonna play. What was it we were gonna play? Oh yeah, I made him play New World, and he hated it. So I guess that's my fault. I'm a bad person for making him play a game that he ended up not liking. And then it was Destiny. Now, he likes Destiny, or at least did, and I do too. So when a new expansion comes out, usually I'll play for a little bit. And I got whatever the newest expansion was at the time. And I played it, and he said, you're playing Destiny again? I said, yeah. And then it was another, like, 2 or 3 weeks. And then he got it. But by then, I already, like, wasn't playing anymore. So it was like... I mean... Like, I did say I was playing it. But... You can't, like, wait 2 weeks and then be like, oh, are you still playing it? And then, I don't know. Expect that I'll still be playing it in 2 weeks. If someone says they're playing a game, I feel like the longest anyone plays a game is like a month, right? So like at 2 weeks in, you gotta know that like time is coming up to where they're not gonna be playing it anymore, right? I don't know. I don't know who's like more to blame there. But anyway, he was pretty sore at me for that, because whenever you want to play Destiny, you have to pay like $100 for some reason. It's just like the game is just like, oh, do you want to like do the dungeons and like do the relevant content? Okay, well, it's like $10 for this dungeon, like 20 for this expansion, and another 25 for this. So you end up paying $100 every time you try to get back into Destiny. It's a very like convoluted cash grabby system they have set up. Oh. Yeah. Well, not counting the people who I don't know, I think a month is like a pretty good amount of time that people normally play a game. Like, yeah, it does depend on the genre, because like MMOs, you'll probably play for like 2 months. Some people never stop playing. Or like there's some games that just, for some reason, people play forever, like Minecraft, right? Which I don't understand, because I got bored of Minecraft after a couple of weeks. So... You could have waited for him as a friend? What do you mean waited for him? Wait, what do you mean waited for him? I did wait for him. I waited weeks. When he didn't start playing till like weeks later. I've been playing RuneScape. I mean, I've hardly played RuneScape lately. I played RuneScape the most when I was like a child. And I go back to RuneScape for like about a month. Maybe like once a year. So, I don't know. I watch people play games. I don't know. I think that a month is like a pretty standard amount of time. People have like a fallback game that they go to that they keep playing. Right? Like, I don't know. For me, lately, it's kind of been Tarkov, I guess. By lately, I mean the last couple of years. It used to be WoW, and then before that, it was RuneScape. But I guess Tarkov, like... But even then, but when a new game comes out, I usually play it for like a month, and that seems to be about the time that, I mean, if it's a game I like. And that seems to be about the same amount of time that all my friends play it too. Because one of the reasons why I stopped playing the game is because no one else wants to play it anymore either. It's different for each games. Different for each game. I mean, okay, Lethal Company, right? You think Lethal Company's been out for like a month or two now? Or it's gotten popular in the last like month or two. Do you think it's going to be longer than another month or two until like everybody is bored of it? I mean, I was bored of Lethal Company in like 3 days, so... Every game is like this. It just has a cycle, you know? And there will be some people who play Lethal Company forever. Among Us. I mean, do people play Among Us still, though? And we're not talking about the same people. We're talking about, like, gamers as a whole. Because a game will come out, it cycles through players, you know? This game's after about 50 hours get really tedious. How long is 50 hours? Yeah, so different games, they have their life cycles of like when it's popular. They usually only last a few months, and that month it's not the same people playing that all start playing and then stop playing 6 months later. That's cycling out people. And each person is only playing for about a month. 1 to 2 months. I mean, I already know that from, like, MMOs. Every time a new MMO comes out, people play it for 2 months. And then no one plays it anymore. There's no player base. That's every MMO that has come out in the last, like, 10 years. Hello, Drexen. I'm happy near any time I get to play with other people since I don't have anyone to game with besides my coworker occasionally. I think that's one of the reasons why I play MMOs. Because I don't really need to... There are other people around. If I want to play with people, there are people playing the game. I would imagine a lot of people rise in popularity, or a lot of games rise in popularity when summer break rolls around or some other holiday or semester breaks. Yeah. Well, I don't know. If I don't know what it's like now, but when I was going to school, right? School gets out at like 2 or 3 o'clock, right? And then you're home and you have the rest of the day to play video games, so... You don't have any other responsibilities when you're a kid. So I don't know how much, like, summer breaks and stuff actually matter. I mean, yeah, you're going to be playing all day. But on like summer breaks, but you can still like get into a game even when you're going to school. Like, you have enough time. What is that flower doing with that mushroom? Is there a way to get that? I guess if you like hit it with a thing, right? Imagine a lot of kids would still have clubs. Are clubs a thing in the States? I don't think that's really a thing here. That's like a Japanese thing, after school clubs. If you're on like a sports team, then yeah, but like who the fuck would want to ever be on a sports team?
Seems the Elden Ring DLC date has been leaked. February 25th.
February.
Soon, brothers, best case scenario, we'll get something on par with old Hunters, quality wise, but I'm setting my expectations lower. Also, what you said about weebs sounds accurate, Drago, now that I think about it. Coincidentally, most of the furries I know are also weebs. Maybe they had enough vaccines to develop furry autism and weeb autism.
Yeah. Oops, I fucked that up. Well. Well. Imagine a lot of kids still have clubs or homework or whatever kids do. I'm sounding like a boomer already. Yeah. I know what you mean. I feel the boomer energy inside of me too sometimes. Like, skibbity toilet! How stupid! How dumb and idiotic is skibbity toilet? In my day, we had other thing that was the same thing, basically. Well, let's see. What stupid thing did I like when I was a kid? Nyan Cat. Let's see. What stupid thing was... What, like, show or, like, thing? I guess Pokemon. I don't know, but I think Pokemon is, like, pretty much... Skibbity Toilet is weird because it's not like a company that made it, you know? It's like a dude that made weird animations and posted them on YouTube or wherever. TikTok, right? Like Pokemon, things that I were into when I was a kid was like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Batman, and Pokemon, right? And those are all things that were made by a giant company that had like real merchandise and things. I don't know. And then Skibbity Toilet is just like random like source filmmaker animations that some weird dude made. Right? Like, I don't know. There's like something that's like unofficial. It's like weird to me. It's like unofficial product, basically. I'm into unofficial product. I'm trying to think like what like fad was I into? Because I really... Everything that I was into that people said was a fad, like, turned out to be a huge success. So, like, Pokemon... Pokemon cards, specifically. Everyone's like, oh, that cardboard will be worthless. That cardboard is gonna be worthless in a month when nobody cares anymore. Okay. Okay, boomer. I did just sell my my Pokemon card collection from when I was a kid for $800 recently. So, which is, to be honest, probably about as much as I spent on it, and or more like my parents spent on it in 1998 or whatever. Actually, no, I didn't really get into Pokemon cards until way later, when I was a teenager. But I did play them when I was a kid, when it first came out. Yeah, I got it. Well, they were probably worth about $2,000. We look through the cards. I think they were worth about 2,000. And I think the guys lowballed me on it by saying 1,600. Which is understandable. And then they said, you know, we'll give you 50% of the value, which is normal. That 50% of the value is normal for like selling to like a card shop, because they have to sell it back, right? So you can't sell it to them for what it's actually worth, or they wouldn't make money. It would be cool if you got into Bitcoin and bought a lot before it was cool. No, I have terrible luck with that kind of shit. If I would have bought into Bitcoin, I would have been one of the people to just lose all of my money. Every time I've tried to like get involved in some kind of like get rich quick scheme, it's always like backfired. Like I remember the GameStop thing was like that too. It was like, everybody buy GameStop stock. It's like, okay. And some people like legitimately did make like hundreds of thousands of dollars off GameStop stock, but I didn't make anything. Gun buybacks. Be right back. Okay, we'll wait for you. All I can think of is Neon Cat, that stupid video of a snail on a turtle on a plane that crashes into a giant's at. I have no idea. Oh, Homestar Runner. I wasn't into it, but a lot of people were into Homestar Runner. Homestar Runner is Skibbity Toilet. That's like the same thing. Just like weird animations that some guy made that people are into for some reason. $3D print muzzle loader smoothbore musket pistols for $1. Oh. Well, those old rifles are gonna be... You're gonna be paying a lot for those old rifles because they're antiques. I'll be right back. I gotta piss. It's 4 o'clock. Time to piss. Hey there. Gonna go to bed. Okay, Sears. Oh, someone else joined. Okay. We can do a race here. Remember how old YouTube videos had only the copyright-free music like Linkin Park and Bon Jovi? No. I remember every YouTube video was like... Well, I really only watched like World of Warcraft PvP videos in like early YouTube. I just remember how every like video, either it was like an anime music video or if it was like PvP World of Warcraft compilation, and it always had like My Chemical Romance music. 480p, 4.3 res, under 10 minutes. That's funny. Yeah. And a big logo in the corner that said, like XSplit or something. I can't remember what it was. 'Cause that's what they would use to record. Or Fraps. Fraps was one of them. Like the early screen recording software. Uh-oh. The handicap. Even literally holding the brake button couldn't get me to not fall off the edge. What the fuck? Oh yeah, I was gonna try different carts each Grand Prix, or different, yeah, I guess different carts. Just to see what it was like. There's probably like optimal places to use that bullet bill. Because like it won't, I've noticed it won't put you like in the middle of a turn. It won't, wow. It won't like release you in the middle of a turn. So if there's like a part in a track that's like really curvy, you should use it like a little bit before that so you get some like, whoa, whoa. Oh, never mind. It just released me in the middle of a turn. Maybe it doesn't care. Well, I am getting fucked here. Oh man, I always fall right, or can't make that turn without mashing the brake button. I don't know what it is. I'll keep getting this over and over. Remember how tutorial videos were all videos of someone typing
Video
into Notepad?
starts. Channel name appears in the font of a popular movie. Aggressive metal music or anime opening theme starts playing. Pictures of anime fight scenes or video game footage from final boss fights. Hard cut to some inhumanly slim fellow who weighs no more than 100 pounds. Hello gamers, Sephiroth_Shadow666 here. Please like my video and subscribe. Today I shall be reading an excerpt from my Final Fantasy Doctor Who crossover fiction.
That's pretty good. Did I just awoo? What? Why would I awoo? When I flew off the edge of the track. I don't know. I'm so excited about it being Friday. I woke up and I was like, wait, is it Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday? And I thought, well, it's got to be the worst one of those, so it's Wednesday, right? And then I saw on my phone it said Friday. I thought, oh, Friday. I get to just not do anything tomorrow. Well, that's not true. I still have, like, drawing obligations, but pretty much nothing. It was rate 5 out of 5, not like. Oh yeah, yeah, it had stars. What was it? 5 stars or was it something weird like 7 stars? I remember it being something weird. Maybe it was the weird part. It was that it was just stars. Now I have to deal with you torturing my envies. I mean, what just happened? You guys don't torture me too much. The most torturing thing is when I make a joke, when I go, haha, I am phony. Listen to my phony joke. And then someone goes, actually, that's not historically accurate. Which is pretty much any time I make a joke. When he throws the banana back, it looks like he just eats it. Back went to the crappery. Oh, how was the crappery? When you do that voice, you sound like the guy that does Time to Take a Piss. Yeah, craps. Slug. Multiple craps. We get it. What was that word that someone used the other day? It was Mephistophelian. It was like Mephistophelian. It's like Mephistophelian. What the fuck are you talking about? I know what Mephistopheles is. Like, I've heard that before. It's, oh, this is a Mephistophelian approach to this. Shut the fuck up. It just means like evil, basically. like using trickery. Mephistophelian. Shut the fuck up. That's really funny to me. I'm gonna start using it so people will be mad at me. Am I underwater right now? I guess I'm a skeleton, so I don't need to breathe. Wait a second. If Brooke is a skeleton? Wait a second. Why is he afraid? Okay. Brooke's power is basically that he's immortal. From One Piece, by the way. Brooke's power is that he's immortal, right? That's what his devil fruit does. He's a skeleton, but he's still afraid of water. But like, why would he? Because water is like the weakness of the of the devil fruit users, right? But why would he be afraid of, why would it matter? You don't lose your powers when you get into it. Well, it's like seawater specifically. You don't lose your powers. It just makes you weak, like you can't move. Right? Because we've seen Luffy, like, they literally saved him because he was drowning, and they couldn't pull him out of the water because he was, like, stuck in something. So they just, like, grabbed his head and, like, pulled it, like, stretched out his neck to, like, reach the surface. Right? So he could breathe. So you don't lose your powers when you're wet. So he would still be immortal as a skeleton underwater. So what is he afraid of? You trapped forever at the bottom of the ocean? Immortal as in invincible as immortals can't die from old age. It seems like both. I mean, he's literally a skeleton. Well, more specifically, he's the spirit inside the skeleton. And he can come out of the skeleton and, like, possess other things. But he is, like, an ectoplasmic entity. There are two characters, Immortal One Piece, Brooke and Sugar, the girl that never grew up and turned... Wait, how is Sugar immortal? She's the one that, that Usopp... that Usopp, we'll say, defeated. How is she immortal? That's the character I'm thinking of, right? She's never old and... Oh! Well, she's not... I mean, she's not, like... Okay. So she's immortal in, like, the Tolkien sense. Not immortal in, like, the truly immortal sense. Though I guess that is... I mean... I guess that is, like, the classical meaning of immortal. Because, like, gods were immortal, right? They didn't grow old. But they could still die, so... They weren't invincible. I guess that makes sense. I just always think it's weird to use immortal as, like, to mean specifically they don't grow old. Depends on which definition is used. Yeah. Well, because, like, immortal, the character from Invincible is, like, both, right? Because he doesn't age. Well, I don't think he doesn't age, because I said he's been around for thousands of years. And, like, he just always regenerates. So he can't die either. I don't know. So I guess it can mean either one. There is a lot of coins on that corner. Somebody was ended there. Can the people from Invincible die, though? Well, that was like, I mean, I don't want to, like, spoil the show. But the whole point of the Immortal is, like, he can always just regenerate. So even if you, like, tear him apart, he can just regenerate. And he's, like, thousands of years old. Biologically immortal. There's also a definition which means you cannot die. Right. That's usually what I mean when someone says immortal is, like, they can't be killed. Like, they'll regenerate or just, like, it doesn't matter. Like, you can't actually... Like Brooke, once again. Because he's not actually, like, a physical being. He's like a ghost. And you can't, like, interact with him. Like, you can't hurt him. So he's immortal in that way. In Dragon Ball, ageless and immortal are two different things requiring separate wishes from the dragon. Oh, wait, so you can be immortal? Wait, so if you're immortal, as in you can't be killed, can you still die of old age? Rook is immortal in the sense that even if he gets crushed into dust, he'll still be alive. Yeah. I would call that invincible. Yeah, I guess it just depends on your definition. I just think about these things a lot because I want to write a book. Though it's probably just going to be short stories. Maybe a book one day, but, like, I tried to write a novel and it was, like, way too much of a task. So maybe short stories are better. Short stories, like, like, you know, one chapter of a novel. But, as for infinite respawns... I think I would rather write short stories for now. I think a lot of authors get started writing short stories because it's more of like a kind of a way to like explore. Plus, if I want to like retcon things, it's fine, right? If I just have like a collection of short stories that no one really knows about, I can always like retcon them as needed, and then if I do ever have something that's like popular, then things that are retconned will already be retconned, I guess. I really want to have it. I have this like idea, but it's also like too much. It's like too much of a task, and I think it's one of the reasons that I have such a hard time with this. Is that I don't want to have to retcon anything. I want to like know that the story, like from beginning to end, like the story of the world, basically from beginning to end, before I ever write my like first thing, because I want it to be like, there's like a mystery, and you discover pieces of the mystery throughout the short stories. They're not specifically, the short stories aren't specifically about like a single mystery, but they will have pieces of an overall mystery that will like span hundreds of years over the course of, because like the main characters in the books are dragons usually, so they live for hundreds of years, right? But I think it's more interesting. So like the reoccurring characters, I guess, are dragons, but the like protagonist of like an individual story might be a human, just and being like, oh, this is the small part that they played in like a greater story or something. It's even better if it's small and not affect what. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Better if they're small. Yeah, I want it to be something that like people can like care about, I guess, because it's the hardest. It's the hardest, or it's the best way for me to be involved, like think about and care about a story, is if it actually doesn't give me very much to go with, and I have to like try to figure things out on my own. That's one of the reasons why I really can't stand games that they just never stop talking. It's just cutscene after cutscene, and they're just talking and talking and talking. It's like, oh my god. It's one of the reasons why I like Dark Souls so much, is because they don't really like spell out the story for you exactly. You kind of have to figure it out. Well, I mean, in like Dark Souls 1, I don't know, they tell you enough. They're like, yeah, they tell you directly like the very basics of the story, right? And then all the details you have to figure out. And I think that works really well. I like that a lot. But like one thing I want to do with my books is there's like different factions of dragons, and you mostly see what the dragons are up to through the eyes of like human characters, and you're only seeing like a little piece of it at a time. So you don't really know what the dragons' intentions are, and sometimes they're like helping the humans. There's like different factions of dragons, so some could be helping and some could be like against them, and some don't care. But like sometimes they're helping the humans and sometimes they're not, and like the humans don't really get it, because it's like, okay, I don't. Oh yeah. Whoa, that was scary. Okay. I don't know how I like didn't die there. Oh no. Oh, fucker. Okay. Oh, I should have used... I used to write and try exactly what you just said, but everyone wanted to read porn, so when I switched that, they would literally skip all the content and read the sex scenes, so I quit. Yeah, well, porn is like porn is porn. Like, if you, I don't put, I don't put anything like sexual in my writing, unless it's specifically a, like smut, and then it's just porn. Like, because I understand the like mentality. Like, if you want to read porn, like you just want to read something and jerk off. Like, I don't care about a bunch of story if I'm reading porn. If I'm not in the mood for porn, then I don't want to see anything related to porn, and I just want to read like a story. You know what I mean? So like, I think it's best to separate those two.
Writing? Writing about what? Pause. Dragon pause. Drago pause.
Yeah, something like that. What is that noise? Easy go. Sounds like gluck gluck. Yeah, that legitimately sounded more like someone gulking than the normal like gulk sound that people make. Just saying paw really fast. Yeah. No. Anyway, the reason I was talking about Immortal is because I wanted there to be a character who is like essentially immortal, but I'm not sure how to do it. Fourth place, get a star. So there's a character. I don't know. I mean, weird to like try to explain it. Hey, thanks for cheering 50 bits, Siko. Alright, hold on, I'll be right back. Yeah. It has excess amount of telomeres. No, it's a dragon. So I'm gonna have him. The way I think I want to do it is like. Oh fuck! I don't even know where to start. That's the hard part, is like knowing where to start, because I could just talk about. Yeah, it's magic related. He's magically immortal. I want him to be. I want him to be like scary because people don't know what he's going to do, and not specifically because he does bad things. But I'm not sure how to write it. Like, I want the point to be that like he's not necessarily a bad guy. It's just that he's like an immortal dragon that's very powerful, obviously. And sometimes he does things that are sketchy because he doesn't really care about like human morality, right? Like, I don't know, he's like fairly villainous, I guess, but not in like a over the top way, you know? He's not like, I'm gonna destroy humanity kind of villain. He's more like a, oh hey, I don't know, him and his like cult are like doing some ritual to like summon some earth elemental or something. Should we stop that? Like, do we want that? Like, what is he gonna do with that? You know, I don't know. That kind of thing where they're like, I don't know, he could be up to something. I don't know. It's scary. Uh-oh. What? How? What? Hello? What? What? The train was there! What was I supposed to do? So yeah, that's the, like, kind of how I'm having a hard time figuring out how exactly to write a villain without him, like, actually being that villainous. I like, without him doing anything, like,
I like to think
heinous.
of it in the sense that dragons think very long term, and that can seem sort of evil by humans who happen to live shorter lifespans and are more affected by the short-term consequences. Maybe that's not what you're going for, though.
No, that's kind of what I'm going for. Like, that's definitely a thing. There's, like, one faction that's, like, their whole thing is, like, they do a lot of things that are, like, not necessarily the greatest in the short term, but, like, have long-term positive effects. There's a faction of Dragon that's what they're all about. They're very but no, I'm talking about this one specific dragon. I don't know how to I just don't know, like, my story, there's a necromancer dragon who became a ghost, then possessed his own corpse, but it's not a perfect possession. Just to augment his physical remains with bandages and such, so he's like one of those mummies from the Valley of Kings. Quite flammable, so he can use his own breath attack without risk of incinerating himself. Self-absorbed narcissist neither knows nor cares what harm they cause. Yeah, but that's like pretty villainous. Like, self-absorbed narcissist who doesn't care. I mean, that could be a way to go about. I don't really want him to be a narcissist, though. I want him to, like, it's more of like a vibe I'm trying to go for that's hard to explain. I want him to be like, this is gonna sound fucked up, but I want him to be like
people who have AIDS will be sent to STD Archipelago, so others don't get AIDS. A good idea for the future, but it would be evil to force them to go.
Thanks, Bicycle. Fuck, that totally made me lose my train of thought. Jesus Christ. Fuck. What was I saying? Okay, I want this dragon to be more like, sort of like the Quiet Kid. Like Quiet Kid vibes. Like, I don't know. Maybe he's gonna shoot up the school. You don't know. It's a possibility. But he hasn't done anything, like, too bad. Just some of the shit he says is creepy as fuck. Like that kind of vibe. But dragon. I like that. He says some things that are, like, profound in, like, a very sort of, like existential horror way. Anyway, that's the vibe I'm going for. What? Okay, I don't know what... But yes. Oh, boy. Thank you, game. Does the game know that I'm out of bounds? I saw a light in the distance, and like a moth, I just went toward it. That, like, triangular building. So one train slams into you, but the other one you want to lose. What? The fuck? What? What does that mean? Okay, I'm not winning this race. That's what happens when you're only paying half attention to the game. Oh. Texting and driving, yeah, basically. Who takes decision? People don't like decision protest. Yeah. Anyway, well, I want... It's just... Semi-demented drunk old man who has brief moments of Lovecraftian sobriety. Lovecraftian sobriety. I don't even know. What? No. What? What? Whoops. What did I do? God damn it. Okay, I guess I pressed the wrong button. Fuck me. Create room. Alright, show this. See if somebody send me a friend request. No, it would say new friend, right? Oh, okay. They back their change. Yeah, yep, they changed it. You can't draw titties anymore. Star Power doesn't care that a train is in their way. The train will be bonked upwards. Oh, you're talking about it like 3 races ago. Fuck. Alright. Oh shit. Okay, it's 150. Okay. Sometimes it defaults to like stupid settings. It defaults to like no computers 100cc sometimes. I don't understand why. Bonk isn't working. Yeah, I don't know. It's broken, I guess. I don't know. I don't really have the energy to fix it. I don't want to fix it right now anyway. Pet me enough to give me eczema. I'm not there. I'm not down there. You're petting the air. Oh. It's a good mini-map. What? Hello? Oh. Well, how am I supposed to know that? I hate when I have to pay attention to the game. Oh, fuck. Oh, well.
Cough. Your driving is even worse than it usually is, and that's saying quite a lot.
Yeah. Well, it's because I'm looking at chat a lot, and I'm not used to this map. Usually I, like, barely pay attention to the game. That's why Mario Kart is great, because you don't have to pay attention to it. If you're familiar with the track, then your brain just kind of autopilots it. But, this is like a newish one, I think. So... Mario Kart's, like, hard to care about, to be honest. Oh, is that not the dirt?
Drunk drive while at 2? It's Friday.
I can't imagine, like, man, that must suck. Like, people are like, oh yeah, I'm gonna retire. I've never met, like, a happy retired person. They're always, like, bitter and wish that...
Vaporeon is so cute and epic.
Yeah. Cute and epic. Full of juices. I've never met a happy retired person.
Autopilots it if you know the track, but it seems like your brain is just in autopilot by default a lot of the time regardless.
Yeah. Yeah, sassy Vaporeon. I know. She's gonna get put in the blender if she's not careful. Is there a reason that we should raise our retirement age to 75? What? What's TOT? Raise? No. That's not what I mean. I just mean that the whole system is flawed. You make retirement 90. The whole system is flawed because it's like you just have to work till you're 65 and then you get the last 20 years of your life to do whatever you want, except that after working for your entire life, like literally your entire, because you go to school, it's the same shit, right? The only school is there to just prepare you for like an 8-hour day work life. So you're working, you're doing a job since when do you start school? When do you start school? Like 6 years old, something like that. 7, yeah. So from the time your entire life, basically, from the time you can like open your eyes and think about things, you're going like 8-hour shift, and then suddenly they're like, nope, you're not doing that anymore. That's why they're unhappy. They like don't know what to do with themselves. It's just like, now I have to be alive for 16 hours a day with nothing to do. So they're miserable. It's just a flawed system. It's fucked up. And like the I don't know. Raise the retirement age to 90. It's just fucked up. I don't know, you just shouldn't. It just sucks, like, because once you're like 65 and you're retired and your whole life has been about, oh boy, I get to retire and now I get to, what do they always say, like sip mojitos on the beach, except like 3 mojitos in, you have a headache and you never want to drink a mojito again, and then you're also sunburned, and then you're like, well, this sucks, I guess I'll just sit at home and watch TV for 20 years until I die.
Wait, my parents told me school started at 16. You're supposed to act like you came from a private school that isn't verifiable, and that's part of the test to get in. That's what everyone did, right?
What? Yeah, so your whole life they're like, it's gonna be so great when you retire, but it's actually fucking horrible because you have nothing to do and no reason to do anything. And it's like fucked up, and it just sucks because like I won't have that problem. I'm either like, I don't know, if my hand gets cut off and I can't draw, then I'll have that problem. But it just sucks. Like if I pursue art as like a major, as like the thing I'm gonna do for the rest of my life, then I'll be 70 like drawing still, right? I'll be drawing until the day I die. So it will never happen to me. It will never be the case that I have nothing to do and I'm just like bored and unable. Well, maybe unable, like I said, if I am like injured. But yeah, I don't know. So, I mean, I guess I could learn how to write with my left, or draw with my left hand. Like, most of drawing is knowledge, so even if I lose my dominant hand, I can just relearn to draw with my left hand. It's like not that big of a deal. Cut off my hands, replace them with paws. Yeah, that'll work out. If I lose both my hands, though, might be a problem. I don't know. I like how many people lose both their hands, though. It's like not that common, so I don't think I have to worry about it that much. 30 years, we'll get cyberpaws. Yeah. I mean, that's another thing I'm kind of banking on. Like, the thing that people don't really think about is technology, like the rate at which we improve technology is increasing exponentially, right? Like, it's not so much... It's like, oh, by estimates, you know, in 30 years, this will be the case. And it's like, no, it's going to be like twice as much as you think. Probably. I don't know. Don't work at a sawmill metal shop with sheets that can slice off your arms in a second. No, I'm never going to work in some stupid place like that. Realistically, famous last words for someone who loses both their hands. Yeah. No. No! No. Why does it do that? What did I press? They look up, like, look up people from 1900 thought the year 2000 would look. Well, yeah, but they didn't know anything. They didn't have computers. They had no idea. Computers and like the internet have changed everything. I think people don't think about that a lot. You know, they think about you think about technology like increasing, like it's like this rapid exponentially increasing technology is like a new thing, new to like the last 50 years. Like it's probably going to end our civilization, our race, eventually. We just don't know it yet. Flying cars. I mean, do you really want flying cars though? Like, won't that just be terrible? Like, you really want like random idiots who already can't drive worth a shit to like have access to flying vehicles and that just to be normal? Nosedive into a busy intersection. It'll be an air intersection. Air traffic lanes. Yeah, that would be terrible. I don't think, unless they were like completely autopilot, I just don't see how it would work. Because people can already barely handle like motor ground vehicles. What are my thoughts on Elon Musk? I don't know anything about Elon Musk.
The exponential increase won't be quite as exponential going forward. Improper hiring practices and such at development companies. Apparently it's even starting to affect things like aeronautics and such now. Remember, NASA has admitted that they are no longer capable of getting people to the moon despite having everything they did last time except those nice German fellows.
I'll leave it on here for a minute if anyone wants to join. Elon Musk is bad because his dad had gem mines in Africa or some shit. I've heard that. All the reasons I've heard people say they hate Elon Musk doesn't make any sense. They basically either hate him because he's rich, just for like because he's rich, or he's ruining Twitter, as if Twitter was like a good place. I don't know, but I don't know like anything about him. I don't really care. Like millionaires are just basically like celebrities. I just don't care. It's like when exciting or more predict exponential death growth, computers, robotics stop. So between 2025 and 2035. Well, I don't think Gordon Moore in 1970 could ever know anything. Sorry. No, I think things are going to increase exponentially until we get to a point where our society is just fucked. If we're not basically already there. We might already be there. Like, everything is super divided and weird and like... I don't know. I think we might already be there. We just don't quite know it yet. It's easier to find good porn on Twitter than all the pages of cringe on Funny Blue site. Yeah. It is weird that Twitter became like the place that every furry artist posts their porn though. No one can be my slave. No master, no daddy. None of that crap. Over the years, you've been in the South for 20 years? Huh? Okay. Good observation. I don't know what you mean by that. Old times there, not forgotten. Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, I live near DC, and I live between DC and Richmond, which are like both super liberal places, so and the town I live in is like mostly like upper class people who tend to be pretty liberal. So like, yeah, I live in the South, but it's not like Southern culture as you would expect it. I did live in Danville for a while. Danville was like redneck town. Everybody talked like they had a squirrel in their mouth. Suburban upper south versus rural deep south. Suburban, yeah. Suburban. Yeah, I guess suburban is the... I mean, I don't live in like one of those housing developments, but there are housing developments like within a mile of me that you think of as like standard suburban like housing developments where it's like 2 houses per acre and there's just like hundreds of houses that are completely identical on either side of the road. Yeah, we've got some of those like a mile away from me, so I do live pretty much like that. But yeah, at least I don't live in the city. I legitimately don't understand how people can live in the city. Like, it's really expensive. It's like the poorest people live in the most expensive area and then like can't figure it out. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. It would cost more to live somewhere with more land. No. No, that if you go like a few hours south of here, like where I lived in Danville, the houses there are like under $100,000. You get property. You get like a few acres of property and a house for 100,000, which is like, you know, mortgage on that is very cheap. I was considering it because even I could afford something like that. But I don't want to live so far away from...
How am I supposed to afford my Funko Pops and Star Wars Lego sets when Mr. Goldberg only pays me $3,800 a month? My essentials like rent, Netflix, Starbucks and drugs are too expensive already.
Yeah. Essentials like Starbucks and drugs. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what it comes down to. Like, it's sad enough. I don't know. I knew some people who were always complaining about how poor they were and how they didn't have any money, but they would still spend like $100 every weekend to get their nails done. So I don't know what the fuck that's about. Gotta get my nails did. That's essential. Food? No. Fingernail polish. They're dead inside. Oops. I don't know. I think some people just, they see like random luxury expenses as like essentials. They don't even think about it, you know? Like I saw some post by someone talking about like all the bills they have to pay, and like half the bills were like, it was like Netflix, you know, Disney Plus, whatever, MCM, whatever, all those, and they had like 5 of those as like their bills, and they're like, my bills are so much, and it's like, you know, you know, you don't have to pay for Netflix. That's not like an essential bill. You if it's like hurting that much to have all these bills that are like for random shit, like just don't. City people in American cities look insane. That's because they are insane. Density of money causes strange aberrations. Things that are truly valueless rise in hyperinflated nightmares. Yeah, we have a problem here with teeth whiteners. They have to keep the teeth whitening strips behind locked doors because people steal them. Yes. Which is very bizarre. Teeth whitening strips. Something like truly worthless. Purely cosmetic and pointless. But it's what everyone has to have, willing to steal. It's very weird. Yeah. And I think that you have a point there too with basically the thing about the city people is that if only let's say 1 in 100,000 people is like truly insane, and you live in a town with less than 100,000 people, it's quite possible that there's like almost no crime in your town. There's no crazy people. There's no gun violence, like, at all in your town, right? But then you go to a city with like 4 million people, and it's like, well, yeah, now it's every day. So yeah, it does have to do with, like, you know, only 1 in 1,000, only 1 in 10,000 people is like crazy enough to do some crazy shit. I don't know, that's the thing with gun laws too, like people, I don't know, they don't really talk about this, but with like gun laws being really restrictive with gun laws, people in small towns are like scratching their head at like why would you not want to own a gun? Like what's wrong with you? But city people are like, I don't want the crazy people I know to have a gun. Are you crazy? Do you know? But the small town people don't know because there's no gun violence in their town ever. So it's like you have a gun because it's like, well, it's like part of American culture. I mean, that's slowly going away, but it's like part of American culture. And it's like a hobby for a lot of people. Like, I think city people like legitimately don't understand that, like, it is a hobby. Like, shooting is a hobby. It's fun. You set up a target really far away and then you can hit it. Like, it's satisfying, you know? And like, guns are cool. All the technology involved, you know, like optics and I don't know, all the different stuff. Like, you can really get into guns, and like it's a big hobby. People are like, nope, you're not allowed to do your hobby. It's just like, fuck you.
Please understand. Star Wars, Marvel superhero movies, Call of Duty and My Little Pony are the only things keeping me from self-terminating. I have no aspirations whatsoever beyond simply consuming more and more of my favorite media. Hopefully Bernie Sanders will become president and give me universal basic income to support these life essentials, as well as banning everything I don't like, such as those revolting weapons, sports cars except the ones Bernie himself owns, and private ownership of.
How hard is it to get a gun license in the US? Does it really matter to get one? How many gun stores don't care and sell people with no... You have a right to own firearms. You don't need a license. It's a constitutional right to own firearms. You need a license to have a concealed carry. Basically, to have a weapon hidden on your body and carry it around in public. Unless it's... Well, there are some states that are open carry states, which means you don't have to have a license to, well, actually, do you need it? No, it's open carry. You don't need a license to have a firearm on you at all times as long as it's visible. And then but you still need a license to have a concealed weapon. Guess I'm too European. How hard is it to get a gun? Okay, so it depends on the kind of gun. If it's don't take my word for it exactly because I don't remember. It might be different state to state. But I think if it's a pistol, you have to wait some amount of time because they don't want people to go buy a pistol, be mad at their wife, go buy a pistol and then shoot their wife, right? So that's the whole point of making you wait. You have to wait 30 days or something if you buy a pistol. Any gun store has to honor that. There's no gun store that's gonna be that stuff is pretty what's it called? Regulated, right? You'll get shut down pretty quick if you try to bypass that. For rifles, I don't think you have to wait at all. I don't know. I've never really bought guns from a store. I've always just got them from friends or family. So yeah, and it really depends on state. Different states have different laws. A 30-day argument cooldown period. Yeah, exactly. One interesting thing is you can't manufacture and sell automatic weapons, but old automatic weapons are grandfathered in. So you can buy and own automatic weapons. It's just old ones, basically. So that's something that most people don't know. Though I think the whole automatic weapon thing is a little bit... Okay, you're gonna go. Okay, well then no one's here, so we'll just talk. We don't have to. Most people have autos are enthusiasts. They almost never used in illegal acts. Yeah.
Draw a platypus.
No, I don't want to draw. I'll just end this. Hold on.
Dragon, taco, 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 dragon, taco,
Says it so
dragon, taco,
forcefully.
dragon, taco, 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 dragon, taco.
Thank you for that.
Taco.
Thank you for the taco dragon, John.
Dragon, taco, dragon, taco, dragon, taco, dragon, taco.
Oh my god.
Taco, dragon, taco.
He'd stopped for a second, then he remembered
taco,
who he was.
Taco, dragon, taco, dragon, taco.
The amount of effort you need to go through to become a manufacturer is insane, though. All the websites are out of date. You need to pay a 2K a year tied to the government. Agency of Dog Killers. Oh yeah, ATF. Yes. So yeah, it's easy. The one thing is that you can go to gun shows, which are basically private events where people sell guns to each other. If they are a licensed or seller of guns, they have to make you sign paperwork. But if you're just buying from another person, you don't have to sign paperwork. So if you do want to, People call it a loophole. I don't know if it's really a loophole exactly, but teeth whitening lore. Teeth whitening lore. What, is this what I just said? Density of money causes strange aberrations. Things that are truly valueless rise and hyperinflated nightmares. Yeah, we have a problem here with. I just said that though. He needs to say you're not a felon and wanted. Oh yeah, you also can't be a felon.
Hello,
Yeah.
I am the president. The OR-14 with a banana clip can be bought from people on New York street corners. They sell a device which attaches to a pistol which turns it into a gun and makes the bullets bigger. Since 1970 over 500,000 people died from banana clip potassium poisoning. The bullets can shoot through 5 inches of solid steel and still have the energy to explode a deer. These weapons of war belong in the hands of the Taliban, not American citizens.
That's that's some deep lore. Okay, so you can't be a felon, yeah. If you're a convicted felon, then they can't sell you a gun. But I mean, you know, you can get one easily anyway, so that hardly matters. The problem with like banning guns, in my opinion, is that there are just already so many guns in circulation that it would make it so that only criminals had guns and they would have a lot of guns. And then it would be very bad for a long time. Eventually, the government would like clean up most of the guns, right? But it would take a long time. Can you carry a sword? It depends on the state. It like technically yes. In my state you can, but they have weird laws. You have to have it has to be okay, so it has to be it's an open carry state, so you can there are literally laws for carrying a sword where I live, and they're very weird. Right? So open carry means the weapon can't be concealed, but having it in a scabbard conceals it. Because if it's a blade over 3 inches, you have to show the length of the blade. It has to be visible, which means that if you have it in like a normal scabbard, it would be considered concealed and you wouldn't be allowed to. But if you had like a clear scabbard, then you would be okay. So it's very weird. I just sword and a cane. Sword canes are illegal as far as I know. When I'm talking, just talking about my state. My state is very weird. They have a lot like ninja. Any ninja weapon is banned, right? Like throwing stars are banned, like nunchucks are banned. Any sort of like ninja weapon is banned for some reason because they're like afraid that ninjas will like overpower the police with throwing stars or something, I guess. What do you put a sword at the end of your gun? Well, that's called a bayonet. And like, yeah, you can do that. I mean, usually you wouldn't. Yeah, the ban on like ninja weapons is very strange to me. Like, I don't know. I guess they saw maybe like in the 80s there were a bunch of ninja movies and they're like, well, better ban that. Or I bet there was a bunch of 80s in the 80s there were a bunch of ninja movies and like one person like started throwing ninja stars at someone in a shopping mall and like injured 7 people. And they're like, this mass shurikening needs to be stopped. And then they banned all ninja weapons. It's got to be something like that. In some states, putting a bayonet on your gun contributes to it being an assault weapon. That's silly.
true story from the UK. Before sword canes were explicitly banned, there was a man who used one to defend himself when some degenerate attacked him. The government tried desperately to convict him of something but couldn't, and simply decided we need to stop any other citizen from defending themselves in this fashion. Sword canes were then banned.
Yeah. That's about how... Yeah, this is very weird. I don't know why it ends up being like that. North Carolina's walk with carrots in your pockets is illegal. Well, that wouldn't be enforced, though. Stuff like that isn't enforced. I'm talking about stuff that is enforced. We have very weird laws with, like, certain gun attachments are illegal. The attachment itself isn't illegal, and the gun isn't illegal, but when you attach the two together, it's illegal. And that's very strange to me. Like, vertical foregrips are illegal in some cases. I'm not completely sure. But it's very weird. It's like a felony to have a foregrip on your rifle. It just doesn't matter at all. Vertical foregrip just doesn't matter. Like, you can just grab, like, okay, I'll have a horizontal foregrip or whatever. Okay. Or just grab it. Like, it just doesn't matter. I think in New York, guns are banned entirely. You only had one accessory. Yeah, well, people are weird. They don't really... Vertical paw grips. Vertical paw grips. So, like, the paws are straight up in the air. I like the sound of that. People are really freaking out the AR-15 thing, which doesn't really make sense. There's, like, some law that people are... I don't know who. Someone is trying to get enacted that bans gas operated weapons, which is like pretty much any semi-auto weapon, which is just like, okay, so like just guns in general, but they're putting it as gas. I mean, there are a few that I don't know. I can't remember exactly. They're trying to ban AR-15 specifically, which is very weird because it's like pointless. Like, doesn't matter. Like, why? AR-15 is just an M16 with slightly different, basically, yes. Well, it's just like a carbine. It's just like a short barrel carbine. I don't understand why this is such a problem. It doesn't make sense. It's not like dramatically different. It's just they want to ban it because it's popular. That's the only reason. It's not like dramatically different from like anything else. The main reason people like them is because they have big rails. Like, they have 4 rails on them, and you can just put a bunch of attachments on them. But the attachments don't like make it more lethal. It's like whatever. Magnetic muzzle loaders. You have a shoulder thing that goes up, it makes the bullets go faster. Yeah, I don't know. It's very weird. All right, well, it's about time, I think. My voice is kind of giving out already. I'm coughing a lot. My throat's full of phlegm. So I think I'm going to take off. Sorry it's been kind of like an hour early this week, but yeah, I'm just still recovering from pneumonia, so I will see you guys later. See you Monday. Enjoy my weekend Taco Bell. I probably won't go to Taco Bell. I did have Taco Bell yesterday, I think, though. I don't remember. I eat Taco Bell so fast that I can't remember eating it. Anyway, I will see you guys later. Thanks for hanging out. Goodbye.